Win, lose, or tie, we gonna go live. That's just kind of how it is. And man, like Dion said out there yesterday for them Colorado Buffaloes, today them Dallas Cowboys look like hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
That
Boy,
was
I'm
tough.
telling you, when America's team loses,
it's
the haters is winning.
and it's in spectacular fashion.
Look at them as they fall in. All the opportunists that follow the Built Different group here and haters of the Dallas Cowboys, you're happy. I know the Cowboys lost today, especially to the Arizona Cardinals. I still ask the same question. Are the Cardinals a real NFL team?
Oh. Well, I'll tell you this much. More than anything, it was 100% lack of preparation, man. I mean, we could go ahead and talk about injuries, but then so could every other NFL team. No one should lean on that. The next group of teammates is supposed to be able to fill in, and we saw some people get a little exposed today, man. Not to mention a lack of momentum to be able to put that together and come back and put a win. You know, we outscored them, outplayed them in the second half, but it was nowhere near what they already did to us. So definitely an embarrassment, man.
Yep, Henrietta nail right on the head. We played like hot garbage. Shout out to Deion Sanders. We know little Cowboys. We know all about some hot garbage as of today because we damn sure didn't know about any hot garbage the first two games of the season. But there's your stats right there. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at everything by the number. Shout out to everybody tuning in today. We know we got a lot of haters present on the show today. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Twitter. But where them real diehards at? I need to see them diehards show up here. Let's go raise the bar, baby. We're going to break down these numbers.
Keep that energy, Keep the energy,
keep that same energy as we go through these numbers here. Let's look at these total team stats. I mean, the Cowboys finally got their offense going in the second half, but wasn't enough because the keys to stopping this, the keys for the Cowboys to win this game, which obviously they didn't, so those keys didn't work on this lock. I mean, they ran for 222 yards on this world-class defense, Bob.
They didn't just run up the middle on us. They ran outside on us. They ran outside to the middle on us. We just absolutely got exposed by a team who was sick of losing, man. Plain and simple. Yeah, it was tough. And the thing was, I also love when Moose calls games because he always has an intelligence with doses of reality in there too. And all the stuff he was saying, I was agreeing with, man. We did some good things, but for some reason, man, I don't know, man. Those penalties, and a lot of them were on, guys who had their first start ever. That's fine.
We're going to get to those. We're going to get to those in just a minute, Bob. But I think I told everybody to sit James Conner. I did sit James Conner today, and James Conner ate today on the Cowboys. 8 carries, 71 yards, and a TD. I don't know about that trap pick. I mean, it got some bad gals from my guy Big Gucci. But like Mike Rock says, no such thing as a trap teams. We just play down to bad teams. I think he hit the nail on the head too. Dallas Cowboys playing. What is this team that showed up today in the first half? I did not recognize this team defensively at all.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say, dude. Here's the fact of the matter is that we always play hard against the Giants. Doesn't matter. It's a division team. It was the opening game of the season too, so we played extra hard, extra smart. We definitely played down today, man. There's nothing else I can say. It's not like we had everybody on the second string playing on defense today. And I don't even want to talk about the offense because the offense, I feel, feeds off of whether the defense is successful or not. And if the defense is not successful, then neither is our offense. That's what I think just got shown today because the Cardinals just had the best game they will have for the entire season right now against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep, Gabriel Garcia's hitting it on the head too. Red zone was definitely an issue today as we had to settle for a field goal after field goal after field goal. And if you got Brandon Aubrey in your fantasy football lineup, I know you are a big grinning right about now. But for a Cowboys fan to have him in your lineup, it sucks because the boys lost. But that red zone definitely hot garbage today. as Dak threw his first interception of the season today. Oh, we know the creepy crawly's about to come out this week. Boy, I tell you, favorite 3-letter and 4-letter alphabet networks is getting ready to eat it up because when America's team loses,
then they'll talk about him.
We know all them haters stay winning, and they following us here today as you see them crawling in the comments. But where them diehards at here today tapping in? Show your face. Don't fall in the bushes like Bart Simpson on that meme out there. Y'all need to keep it, Cowboys. We got the Patriots up at home next week. We're going to keep things moving. No more Victory Monday on tomorrow. Cowboys eat a big old slice of humble pie today, and his fan base included. And I think it was a much-needed reality check in a week 3 that opposed to getting it later on in the season, especially like to a division opponent or a game that would essentially matter for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, granted, it was an NFC team, but week 3, still time to try to recover because it don't look like this defense recovered with the loss of Trayvon Diggs out there today.
No, they were missing him today for sure. Whether it be spirit or whatever, whether it hit preparation, I don't know. But I can say this right now: they look like complete ass, man. And I think maybe maybe we do play down. Maybe we do prepare differently for teams that are not good. I don't see how you do that. I don't see how a professional team goes in a locker room and prepares less because you're playing a team that doesn't do a lot or supposedly isn't that good. You got to treat all the teams as if they're the same level. They're all great because they all are. And yeah, we did learn something right there. We learned that even in an ass loss, Dak Prescott can be super efficient until that interception at the very, very end of the game. And don't call that a game-losing interception. We lost that game in the first quarter.
That game was over in the first half. I mean, shit, the Dallas Cowboys, I think we only scored, 6 points in the whole second half?
Oh, we did. Yeah, the first half was garbage.
6 points in the whole second half, like 3 field goals, 1 touchdown. Shout out to Rico Dowdle. You know, I probably overlooked Rico Dowdle here a little bit. Rico Dowdle stock shot up today. But before we get to the offense, like Stephen Valentine says right there, appreciate that, Stephen, for tapping in today. Make sure you give me a share on your timeline. The defense, where was it at? 2 sacks on the day, no turnovers. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, no, they caught Dak's interception, but we didn't turn the Cardinals over at all today.
It could obviously be that domino effect, man. If Diggs is not there locking down their number one or staying on that side, locking down whoever's on that side, because that's what he does, then the other guys don't really get a chance to kind of lay back and play relaxed. Now they're playing high energy. They're playing on the front of their heels. And in some cases wind up getting on the back of their heels because they don't know what they're doing, man. They're bland. I love him, but he looked lost today, man. He's going to have to work real hard, man. He's going to have to work real hard because he's a great nickel corner, but on the outside, he got exposed too, man.
I think this Texas Coast offense play calling got a little exposed today too, because I think that had something to do with Dak down at the end. I know a lot of the Dak haters is riding out here today, boy. They trying to get on the Dak lovers. They know they trying to come at your boy BG, but man, look at here. I think this play calling today, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Then all of a sudden we tried to pass the ball. Red zone efficiency was shit today, other than field goal. Shout out to Brandon Arby, like we said, if you got him in your lineups. But, I think that ask was too much. I thought we were running the ball in the red zone so much because they were scared Dak was going to throw an interception. That's honestly, if I just want to keep it all the way 100, that's how I felt. And then when he did throw it, I'm like,
I just said that makes more sense.
Bro, a couple minutes before that, I just said, let us get out of this game without Dak throwing the pick.
Right.
Can we save some face on the way out eating this humble pie here today? You know what I mean?
He only missed like 12 passes, 13 passes out of 30. That ain't bad, man. That was, at some point, he was even more efficient than that. In the second half, he had to take more chances. What I'm going to say right now, the one, if I have to pick a position, because we can go through all of them and they're all going to say they're all going to equal ass. The biggest ass today for me, when you're going to ask Bob the Cannabis Cowboy, what do you walk out? The worst part of this team besides the penalties was this wide receiver core. The wide receiver core that I have been talking about, saying how elite they are and the speed they have, other than a couple of plays by CeeDee Lamb, who, by the way, has completely won me over. The toughest dude I have seen who takes shot after shot and still makes plays.
Baby. He gets it.
That guy's a badass dude. But the rest of the guys, other than him, and Gallup showed up too. It's just that we weren't able to get it all clicking at one point. It was in the end out of desperation. They were playing as hard as they could. The wide receiver core was getting locked down by what we called the 28th best secondary in the NFL in the pregame, and I don't know what happened.
Great segue, Bob, because Greg's tapping in. He says, what the fuck does the run game have to do with Dak? Everything. Everything. I mean, Dak has not thrown a touchdown to a wide receiver in 3 games. It's got everything to do with Dak Prescott. And I know Dak haters are so happy to hear me say that right about now, but look, it's evident. It's evident at this point. So, the run game was doing it, but when it's time to get down, like in the red zone, I'm thinking, why are we not taking those shots? There's got to be a reason. It's the 28th ranked secondary in the league, y'all. Like, what is going on with the Texas Coast play calling today? The shit look like Texas toast out there today. Not Texas Coast, Texas burnt toast.
Yeah, I do not know, man. I know that what's probably going to happen is we're going to get it all together and hopefully show something different. Hopefully we've got our starting center and our starting right guard. Although, again, I don't see how not having those guys there did anything because Dak was having time. The biggest problem was that the wide receivers were not getting open on a consistent basis, and I don't understand why.
DeQuince brings up a great point here, and I want to ask this to everybody tuning in here today. We got over 50 folks on the live. Come on, y'all. Share it on your timeline. We know them haters is happy today. But if you a diehard, make sure you like this video and share this. My guy DeQuince says, Dak ain't it, bro. Mike McCarthy, don't trust Dak. I'm telling you, the way the play calling was set up today, we're going to get to that just a little bit further. I want to examine what you were bringing up here earlier, these penalties. Going back to that D in Dallas, the D in discipline is definitely missing in Dallas today as the Cowboys 13 penalties for 122 yards. Aside from the Dak pick, aside from hot garbage, red zone opportunities today that we didn't take, the penalties alone, you can't take them kind of penalties and expect to win the game. So an L in the discipline department too as well. Just all around bad showing. I don't know if Trayvon Diggs going down had that kind of emotional effect where they felt like they may be able to get up, but maybe internally it was just a mask because it definitely got ripped off on this world-class defense here today, especially with Joshua Dobbs getting his first ever win against America's team. Jesus, we got to hear more about the history after that today.
Yeah, today was bad preparation, bad execution. I'm not going to go on record and say that this is the true Dallas Cowboys team. I'm going to go on record and saying that this is what happens to our team when we underestimate and play down to our opponent and don't find ways to convert, and it's an amalgam of everything. You can add the penalties in there. I'm not going to jump on the refs. I mean, there were shit plays on calls on both sides. So the refs are always an issue. That's just something you got to outplay. And we didn't outplay them, let alone outplay the defense of the Arizona Cardinals, which is not a great offense or a great defense.
Yeah, Jeff is tapping in from New Jersey here. Said, look like trash. Yeah, man. Hot garbage. Like what Dion said them Buffs looked like yesterday, right?
Oh, shit.
Seems like always overrated. I got to live in New Jersey and deal with this trashy output of a game. I feel your pain. All Cowboy fans in every state, every country, every region of the world feel that today. And he says, play calling looks real sus. I need some answers, y'all. Do y'all think Mike McCarthy's trusting Dak? I don't know the way that play calling was set up. Is it just because the run was working? I don't know. We got in the red zone a few times, and I didn't see Dak Prescott from part of the game that I could see between red zone and Dofu Sports app, which I think I'm about done with. But, yeah, I mean, Dak has not thrown a touchdown to a wide receiver in 3 games, and he's got CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Kevontae Turpin. We're not talking tight ends. We're talking wide receivers here, y'all. Just a bad outlook all the way around, Bob.
The video is skipping on you a little bit, BG.
Is it?
Yeah.
TJ's tapping in. He said he don't trust Dak. I noticed that in the Jets game. Well, I don't know. We're asking that to everybody here today. I had that feeling when we kept getting in the red zone, running. We weren't converting. We weren't getting nothing but field goals. I'm like, why is Dak not trying to toss the ball to a wide receiver? We've been asking This question here, I don't know, 3 weeks, right? Which wide receiver catches the first TD today? None. 3 games now.
That's an incredible statistic, man. That kind of makes me think that this offense is based on what our defense can do.
Dak 231 passing yards today, 185 yards on the ground. Ground game was running, so I get it. Maybe that's what they're going to lean on, that the ground game was running. But I don't know. It looks a little sus, like my guy in New Jersey says out there, because in the red zone, we wound up with field goals again.
I don't know. I could say the play calls are bad, but and when it comes down to it, the execution is what's bad. I guess if it's a play call that you think is going to be covered, or because of what they're showing, maybe, but I didn't get that feeling today, man. I just got that feeling that we weren't executing the plays, and every time we even came close to doing it, some idiot fucking had a holding call or a repetitive offsides or some stupid shit. And then you see Tyron Smith on the sideline, like snarling, like he's looking like a fucking bull because he can't play, and somebody else is committing penalty after penalty. That's got to suck.
It's big trouble in Big Dallas right about now, and it wouldn't be a show without a Facebook user tapping in. Make sure if you're tapping in for the first time here today, like I said, we're live on 3 locations. Make sure you register with StreamYard. We like to put a name with a Facebook user. Appreciate you tapping in. It says the defense was trash, giving up 200 yards, and Dak had plenty of chances to run with the ball, and he didn't. A lot of criticism coming in. No defense to carry the team today. I've heard the fan base say the defense has been carrying it. Yes, we know this team's identity is defense. We didn't see it today. So then that falls on the shoulder of QB1. Can Dak Prescott win us the games, especially against a 28-ranked secondary with no touchdowns to a wide receiver? I think the play calling is a little sus.
There's a lot of things that were sus, because you're going to have to go back into that locker room, and you're going to have a bunch of players talking about, oh, the coach didn't call great plays. But then you've also got to go to the defensive side of that locker room and say, we just got our asses handed to us by a subpar offense that came out and played really hard today. You know what I mean? Like in any other instance, Arizona Cardinals is not a team winning this game.
Yeah, we know the Eagles fans are big happy. We'll show a little love to some of the Eagle fans that like to keep the football around here. We see Philly Nas. He says, it's a great week whenever America's team fails. Yeah, that's what I said. When America's team loses, them haters, they stay winning. So appreciate them haters tuning in here today on the Cowboys loss.
I mean, people that are talking, talking about can't stop the run either. Again, I don't know what that is. That's something that's been going on for, listen, guys, a long time, 10, 15, 20 years, we could say. We historically are having a problem stopping the run, and I don't know why. I have absolutely no way to come up with anything.
Oh, and just a reminder, Eagle fans that are tapping in here today, I got Baker Mayfield over y'all tomorrow, so don't fuck around and win that game tomorrow. Y'all going to have to hear me talk about y'all instead of them Baker. Cowboys this week. But shout out to Facebook user says, we can't blame Kellen Moore anymore. I'm feeling that. Chargers went out there to the Vikings and got a win over Big Kirko today. I had the Vikings over the Chargers, but Kellen Moore out there with Herbert got them a win today finally. So, yeah, we can't blame Kellen Moore anymore, especially when it comes to the play calling. I think that's going to be the low-hanging fruit for your favorite 3-letter and 4-letter networks this week, as they're going to have a big plate of fruit to choose from on discussions, especially this defense.
Some technical difficulties here.
You good over there?
I think we're good now. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we worried about Philly, baby. Just like y'all worried about them Cowboys over here. We appreciate y'all keeping up with us. But touching back on play calling, shout out to my guy Chris hanging out over here all the time. He says the play calling was atrocious. The defense looked like trash the whole game. We were totally unprepared, like Bob said, coming in on the show for this Arizona game. I don't know. I'm asking. There's a lot of questions, man. Did Trayvon Diggs going down have that kind of a mental effect on this team? Is that what it is? I hate to say it is, but it's a reality, y'all. I mean, I was hurt examining my own faith in the bed after the news broke of Trayvon Diggs going down, but I didn't think we would see that kind of setback.
Yeah.
Especially today when you take a look at Joshua Dobbs' numbers on the game, right? 12 for 15, 95 yards. He didn't throw for any touchdowns, but he also didn't get turned over by this defense. And that is huge. This defense is going to have to turn teams over to win, especially when we get a performance in our Texas Coast offense like we did today, and then Dak throwing an inevitable pick in the end zone right there in the red zone.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems like everybody had the same virus today, man. It was a zombie game from the very beginning. It looked like they were walking instead of running. They weren't. There was no pop to them whatsoever. I just felt like there was no energy, and that has to be preparation. That has to be a coaching issue. And here's the deal. I understand that people want to call it the offense into question, and that's cool. But honestly, if the defense is doing what the defense has been doing, then these play calls are not that bad. That's what I'm trying to say. I honestly think that maybe some of y'all are right. Maybe McCarthy doesn't know what he's doing to the point where he's trying to call plays based on how well that defense performs.
I'm just saying the way this wide receiver unit is set up for a 3-game span with no touchdowns to a wide receiver. I mean, yeah. What do you get? I mean, we're not converting on the ground in the red zone like that.
Right. Yeah, and we seem to give up that run too when we're in the red zone. When it's
James Conner scored inside the red zone today on a run play to the outside. That nobody was there. I mean, they couldn't even get to him. He just walked in, I think, untouched damn near.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not, we're just discussing here what were the issues. We know the Dallas Cowboys eating a big old piece of humble pie here today. Like I said, win, lose, or tie, we're going to go live. We're not scared of a hater, baby. We DC4L. We're not them Cowboy fans that going to fall back in the bushes like a Homer Simpson meme, baby. Come on now. We're not them kind of folks. Where them real ones at? Where them real Cowboy fans out there that don't think the sky is falling? My guy came in here with a comment a while ago. It says, anything less than a Super Bowl and Mike McCarthy is gone. I don't think so.
I don't think so either, man. Jerry loves his head coaches, man, and he's definitely a head coach that's going to do what Jerry wants. And again, when Jerry's gone, we're going to miss Jerry. We're going to talk all this smack about him right now, but when he's gone, we're going to miss him in some way, shape, or form, and miss everything he's done for the Dallas Cowboys. But at the same time, I do think that he is kind of keeping us in an old mindset out there, man, and the defense does dictate where this offense goes. So I don't know, man. Those plays are they looked really good for 2 freaking games. I don't know against the Jets. I don't know if that was a
whole different team that showed up, man. I was just like I said at the halftime tap in, I'm like, y'all need to change uniforms because that defensive uniform y'all was wearing the first 2 games, y'all forgot it in the locker room in the first half. Go back in the locker room at halftime and put it on and come back out so we can get some turnovers and win this game. Like my guy Mike Rock said, shout out to all the Green Badge supporters here today. All this content is brought to you by the Green Badge supporters on Facebook. If you support the BDG content here, thank you very much this season. But my guy Mike Rock says, whoever works on making plays needs more creativity. Is that Schottenheimer or is that McCarthy? Because is this Texas Coast offense really like a muse to not hold anybody accountable in this offensive scheme?
Well, I don't. Let's not even start talking about accountability, BG. For God's sake, there's fuck.
I just gotta throw it out there. I gotta throw it out there.
I got a field text all day long from Mr. Avila out there in Odessa, Texas. He's an older guy, and he's talking about the old days. And I'm like, dude, stop killing yourself, man, because it's just the game now is not what we're used to seeing. It's a different game now.
Yeah, shout out to Anthony tapping in on Facebook over there with a little reality check on the show in the comments. Says the sky is certainly not falling. Did we miss Detroit beating the Chiefs? Hello. It's a game. You had to access what happened, get back to work. The talent will all be praised. Hasn't changed. So great comment there. Way to sum that up. Great perspective. Yes,
good shit.
Just one game.
Thank you, Anthony.
Saying, thank God it wasn't a division game. All them games are going to be important because now, after this week, I'm just hoping we could blame this on the whole Trayvon thing and just move past this because I don't know which team this was that showed up either offensively or defensively today for the Cowboys. It was disturbing for me.
Well, look, Anthony Graham, what you are saying is correct. And even if you are not correct, as a fan, that mindset is exactly what we need to have because you're just going to go crazy trying to control a bunch of millionaire kids that you have no control over. So it's definitely good to keep that in mind. But at the same time, we all know that Philly is the other team we're keeping our eye on. It goes like that. It's been like that for a long time, since way before McNabb was throwing for them. But at the same time, we're looking at them. They're looking at us. This defense has got to produce better than this if we're going to beat the Eagles.
No fumbles, no interceptions. Like, if this defense is, I mean, how many turnovers we had in the first 2 games? Was it 7 or was it 11? Sacks, I think we were somewhere around there too.
Yeah.
Well, right? But outrageous, right? I think it was, 11 sacks in the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Only 2 today, but no turnovers. We had, I think, 7 turnovers. Yeah. We were in the top 5 for the league already in takeaways. None today. I don't know, man, because now folks are, especially Cowboy fans, starting to question our guy, Stephon Gilmore. Is he washed? Can he keep up with the youngsters?
Again, I don't know, man. I feel like he was doing what he needed to do for most of the game. I did see him get a little beat on a couple plays, but again, we didn't hire him to be number 1. He's making number 2 money anyway. But he's a veteran, and he's gonna have some things like that happen, and it's just, honestly, it's that domino effect, man. Who else is gonna win in a game, in a situation where they lose their starting cornerback, their starting guard, their starting center, their starting left tackle? Give me a break, dude. Like, that's a tall order, man, to overcome, no matter what your play calling is, and no matter how effective your defense is, especially if most of them are on one side of the ball or the other. But it was spread amongst offense and defense for us, where we had a lot of starters out, and that sucks. And we got exposed completely.
Definitely Zach Martin out. Definitely, that offensive line, Tyler Biadasz being out. I mean, TJ Bass out there playing his heart out, but the continuity wasn't there. That was the first key to the game. It's keeping Dak upright, 2 sacks. They were getting after it, but let alone, with Big Tyrant over there too, he's injury prone as well. But like Mike Rock was hitting me with the facts on Arizona today, 2-10 in Arizona. 2-10 in Arizona. I think he sent me a text. He says, fun fact, he said, we've been to Arizona 9 times and only won twice.
And that place is 50-50 Dallas Cardinals. Like, we've got a hardcore presence in Arizona. That is not a joke.
I hate it for all the Cowboy fans. I mean, I was alluding to it too. I didn't think it was going to be a game where the Cowboys would get exposed the way that they did, like we did today. I don't know. Can we make those adjustments and move on and forget about it? I'm hoping that we can, because we got a feisty New England team up next on the calendar. They actually knocked the Jets off in MetLife Stadium today. I actually had the Jets. Oh, hell, my damn picks this week is just hot garbage. But we got the Patriots up next on the list, and the return of Ezekiel Elliott to AT&T Stadium in week 5, I believe. No, week 4. Then we got those Niners next. Oh, we're going to have to hear it from the 40 Whiner fan base this week, right? They think they hot shit instead of just hot garbage, right? I'm telling you, they fools go. We're going to see y'all week 5. That's why you suit up. That's why you seen all the games here today, any given Sunday. I mean, look across the league. There was some big upsets today. And I think some of those games, and I got one more coming on Monday Night Football. Yeah, it's crazy talk, but them starters that played in the Super Bowl over there on that defense in Tampa Bay, I think they got it out for Jalen Hurts. And I think Baker over Jalen on Monday Night Football, that's going to have a ring to it this week. Yeah, I'm hating, but that's my picks. But hopefully some of these trash picks I got left are still here, because the rest of the picks I had today, Bob, hot garbage.
You know what, man? When it comes to I'm old school too, man. But when it comes to this shit, I don't even pay attention to the statistics and fantasy after a Cowboys loss, man. It's too hard.
And here is the comment of the show. Thank you for a very bright piece of reality there. I mean, at least we didn't lose like Denver. I mean, damn, Miami scored 70 points on them. I mean, Russ is now busting tables. He's not cooking no more in the restaurant. They took his food license. He busting tables out there in Denver. But, yeah, at least we're not the Denver Broncos. But, man, I hate to look at somebody else's losses to make ours look better. The Dallas Cowboys fall to 2-1. Ugly game here today, man. We've got to right the wrongs. We got the Patriots, Nets up. You know, the Bill Belichick's team are always defensive. Take a look at what they did today against the Jets. I mean, their offense was literally nowhere. I don't want to hear nothing else about the Jets the rest of the season, about them being good, any of that, good defense, none of that. None of that.
I tell you what, I would have never guessed that my hometown of Miami would have had a football game that produced the only positive thing for me this week, which will be able to be under the blanket out here in Denver of Denver's loss to the Dolphins, where they will not say shit to me for this entire week. No matter how bad we lost our game, we definitely didn't lose as bad as Denver did. So that just keeps a little umbrella over me where I don't have to hear too much from anybody in the area. I can grieve. I can get my anger out and do what I need to do.
Yep. Shout out to Mike Rock, just cleaning it up as we get ready to transition out of the show here today. 70-20. He said Russ's food is definitely, excuse me, spoiled. Health department took the football away from him and everything, man. Woo. Well, them damn Cardinals today at home at State Farm, where Jake didn't get a touchdown today either. I mean, man, it's just bad all the way around for Cowboy fans. It's going to be bad all week. But as the saying goes, when America team loses, them haters ain't going to be winning this week, but we'll be back next week for sure. It's in the trenches. The keys to victory didn't matter because we didn't win today. So shout out to the Arizona Cardinals for still playing tough at home. I guess I answered my own question, Bob, which none of the haters could seem to answer for me here this week. The Arizona Cardinals are a real football team, and all the other teams in the league are real too. I'm BG, man. That's my guy, Bob. This has been the show In the Trenches. The Dallas Cowboys took a big, serious L today, y'all. 28-16. We got to regather. We got to regroup. We got to go back and figure out what we got to do this week to get past them Patriots at home with the return of Zeke next week. We'll see y'all live in the gym on the next show, In the Trenches.